We Browns fans are catching a lot of heat today from the national media for our treatment of Deshaun Watson following his injury during the loss to the Bengals. I was there in person when Watson went down and experienced the horror firsthand when our dastardly fan base turned into a sadistic, howling mob that jeered him mercilessly as he was carted off the field. Except that wasn't really my experience. It actually sounded more like this. Like most people at the stadium, I wasn't even aware of the Browns fans booing controversy until I was on my way home listening to the postgame show. In case I'm not being clear, I think this incident has been blown out of proportion considerably. Now, were there jerks and morons booing Watson as he was carted off the field? I'm sure there were. There were about 60,000 people there after all, so statistically speaking, it's a mathematical certainty that a percentage of that population is going to be comprised of jerks and morons. What I take issue with is the implication that the relatively small group of losers who celebrated Watson's injury is even remotely representative of the Browns fan base as a whole. Most of the coverage of the incident doesn't bother to mention how sparse the actual booing contingent was, nor do they bother adding context, like the fact that Watson was also booed by the fans at the start of the game. Now, that's not classy either, but a useful reminder that it can be difficult to differentiate between improper injury-based jeers and tacky but totally valid performance-based jeers. Some of Watson's teammates also came to his defense yesterday, gushing about the QB's many positive attributes and scolding the Browns fan base for our heartlessness. Myles Garrett is none too pleased with us.
We should be ashamed of ourselves, you know, as Browns and as fans.
Who the heck said we're not allowed to judge Deshaun Watson for his behavior on and off the field? I never agreed to that. I don't think the guy should be booed when he's injured, but he's not immune from criticism or reproach for his behavior or game performance. Backup QB Jameis Winston took it even further with his emotional defense of Watson.
I am very upset with the reaction to a man that has had the world against him for the past 4 years, and he put his body and life on the line for this city.
Whoa, let's reel that in a bit, Jameis. He puts his life on the line for the city? He's not storming the beach at Normandy. He's throwing slant passes against the Bengals. Relax. In fairness, I will note that one of Watson's teammates, Greg Newsome II, offered what I consider to be a much more appropriate response to the incident when he posted the following to social media. Hey man, if you cheer for a guy being injured, you need to look yourself in the mirror. That's be better. What I like about this reaction is that it's both full of truth and specifically calls out the actual jerks who engaged in the booing rather than lazily condemning the entire fan base. Thank you, young man. The bottom line is Browns fans are currently enduring enough legitimate hardship, so if everyone could refrain from also vilifying the vast majority of us for things we didn't do, we'd be much obliged. Thanks. Hang in there. Go Browns.
Yet again, I think Mike Polk nails it for a lot of folks.